You found the apartment on a Thursday. This matters not because Thursday is special, but because you remember it so clearly. The gray sky, the smell of rain that hadn't happened yet, the landlord's handshake that was 1 second too long. The price was reasonable. The location was right. The light through the kitchen window was exactly the kind of light you had always imagined would look good in the morning. Reading coffee, ordinary life. You signed the lease without reading it carefully. Most people don't. The landlord said, "Wonderful, you'll be very comfortable here," the previous tenant. And then he paused. "The previous tenant left in a hurry," he said, very suddenly. "We had to repaint. You asked what color?" He said, "The same color it was before." You moved in on a Saturday. The apartment smelled like fresh paint, and something beneath the fresh paint. Something older and slightly sweet that the paint was trying very hard to cover. You opened the windows. You arranged your furniture. You hung your coat on the hook by the door. The same hook that already had a small scratch on it, at exactly the height at which a coat hanger would scratch it at every years of use. You didn't notice the scratch. Not then. The first month was fine. There were no incidents, no sounds in the walls, no doors opening by themselves. The apartment was quiet, in the way that apartments settle into quiet, the particular silence of a place that has held many lives and absorbed them all. You found the first thing in November. Behind the radiator, half hidden under a loose baseboard, a photograph. You pulled it out and turned it over. It was a photograph of the kitchen. The kitchen as it looked now, with your things in it. Your blue dish rack, your ceramic coffee mug with the handle that had a chip in it that you'd gotten in college. Your calendar on the wall, open to the right month. The photograph was old. The edges were yellowed. The paper had the particular stiffness of something that has been handled many times and then put away. But the kitchen in the photograph was your kitchen, your things. You told yourself the previous tenant had similar things. It happens. People buy the same coffee mugs. The calendar was just a coincidence. Same grid, different year. You put the photograph in a drawer and did not look at it again for 3 weeks. The second thing was in December. You were cleaning the closet. A thorough clean, the kind you do when you need to feel in control of something. And behind a cardboard box at the very back, you found a notebook. The handwriting inside was yours. You knew your own handwriting. You had been writing in that particular slanted left-leaning script since the 7th grade. You knew the way your lowercase g looped and the way your 7s crossed, and the specific habit you had of writing the word V with a slightly rushed H so it always looked like TA. The notebook was full of your handwriting. The entries described this apartment, this winter, the way the heater clicked at 3 a.m., the particular gray quality of the light at 4 in the afternoon, the smell, the scratch on the coat hook. You read 3 pages, and then you closed the notebook and put it back exactly where you had found it. You went to the kitchen and stood at the window for a long time. You thought, this is impossible. You thought, the previous tenant had the same handwriting as me. You thought, there are no coincidences this large. You stood at the window until the kettle boiled. And then you made tea. And then did not sleep for a very long time. In January, you began reading the notebook. The entries were dated. They spanned 12 months. They began in November of the previous year, not this year, the previous year. Whoever had written them had moved in at the same time you had moved in, but a year earlier. And every entry sounded like you, not like someone similar to you, like you specifically, like you writing to yourself in the dark. Some entries were mundane. Cold today, the boiler's making that noise again. Found a good bakery 2 blocks south. Some were stranger. Entry for the following March read, I've been thinking about the photograph. I found it last month. I don't know what it means. I want to say I'm not afraid, but I'm not sure that's true anymore. You had not found a photograph in March. You had found one in November. There was only one explanation, and you did not want to look at it directly. You had been here before. Somehow, in some way that your understanding of time did not permit, you had been here before. You had lived this year. You had written this notebook. You had found this photograph and thought these thoughts, and stared out this window and made tea in the dark. And then you had left in a hurry. And then you had come back. The final entry in the notebook was dated the following October, 10 months from now. You stood in the closet with the notebook open and read it. The final entry was 4 lines. It said, I understand now. It doesn't want me to leave. Every time I try to leave, I end up back here. Not the same day. A whole year back. I think the apartment remembers me. I think it needs me to keep filling it. I think the only way to stop the loop is to... The entry ended there, mid-sentence, as if the writer had been interrupted, or had decided not to finish it, or had not yet worked out how the sentence ended. You put the notebook back in the closet. You stood in the kitchen for a very long time. You've been far to found him. You thought about the landlord, who had been so helpful, who had said the previous tenant left in a hurry, who had said we had to repaint, and then said the same color it was before, who had held your handshake 1 second too long. You thought about the scratch on the coat hook, worn to exactly the height of your coat hanger. You thought about what it would mean if the apartment had been waiting, if it had held the shape of your life like an impression, like a mold, and waited for you to pour yourself back into it. You looked at the window, at the light that in the morning, with coffee, was exactly as you had imagined it would be. You had imagined it because you had seen it before, in October, 10 months from now, you will try to leave. You don't know yet what you'll try. You don't know yet whether it will work. The notebook doesn't say. But you are writing in it now. You have started writing in it now. Small, daily entries, the same slanted left-leaning script. You are becoming the record. And somewhere in the closet, behind a cardboard box, or behind the radiator, or beneath the baseboard, there is another version of you. An older version. A version that has lived this loop more than once. A version that has nearly solved it, maybe. Who left something for you. You have not found it yet. But you will. You always do. The apartment is patient. It has held the shape of your life for longer than you know. It will hold it a little longer. The Twilight Registry documents this type of event under the classification Closed Temporal Recursion, Case Class 7 Omega. It is among our rarest and most carefully maintained file categories. We have 3 such cases on record. In one, the subject broke the loop in their 7th cycle. In one, we lost contact after the 2nd. In the 3rd, this case, the file has been updated 17 times over the past 3 decades. Each time, the handwriting is the same. Each time, the address is the same. Each time, the previous tenant left in a hurry. We do not know how many cycles you are in. We only know you are still writing. And the notebook is not yet full. This has been a Twilight Registry case file. Case 7 Omega. The loop is not a haunting. The loop is a home. And some homes, once they have held you, never quite let go. We are watching. We are documenting. We are waiting for the sentence to end.